Hello guys, welcome to the stream. Today we will be building this website in WordPress with the Divi theme. So for those who don't know what Divi is, it's a great WordPress theme, very popular, that comes with a visual builder, which I personally find super useful, super easy to use. So today I will build this website, which is a layout that comes with the Divi theme. You can find this between many other layouts for different purposes, and you can import it and have it in just a few clicks. But today I will show you how to build it from scratch, so you can see how easy it is to use this visual builder. Okay, so the first thing you will need is to have a WordPress site. I already have my WordPress installation in a local environment, and I already have my Divi theme installed. As you can see, if I go to themes, the Divi theme is the current active one. So the first thing we'll need to do is to create a new page. So click on Add New. I'm just gonna close this. And as you can see, when you have the Divi theme installed, you don't see the default editor with the Gutenberg blocks. You see this box. So what you need to do is to add the title. In this case, it will be the home page. And then click on Use Divi Builder. Something looks like I need to log out and log in again. Yes, so let's go again to Add New Page, Home, and click on Use Divi Builder. And this will pop these three alternatives where you can choose between build from scratch. You can choose a pre-made layout like this one, and you can clone an existing page. For this tutorial, I will choose build from scratch. So the first thing you need to understand here is the Divi structure, and it's very similar to other frameworks like Bootstrap. In this case, Divi has these are called sections, which are like the containers in Bootstrap. Inside each section, you add rows with different columns of different sizes, and inside each row you add the modules, which are the different type of contents. So in this case, we will start by building the home page of the website, and at the end we will customize the header and the footer. These are the header and footer that comes with the default installation of the theme. Okay, so let's see how is this site. So for what I can see here, there's a big section here with an image as a background and a gradient. Here, these are probably two columns of different sizes. In this column, the left column, we have a title, a text, and a button. And here we have I think it's a text module and a button. So first thing I'll do is to download this background image. And to do that, what I always help myself with this Chrome extension, which is called, I think, image downloader, yes. So with this extension, what we'll do is recognize all the images in the website, and with just one click you can download it. So there we have our image, and let's set it as a background. So what we need to do is go to the section. Here you will find this settings button. This will open up this settings module, and here you will find the background tab. So clicking on it, it will show you the different options for backgrounds. In this case, you can set a color, a gradient, a background image, a video, a pattern, and a mask. In this case, we will upload a background image. So I have it already there. Let's click on Save Changes. And the next thing we can do is to add this text. But I want to see what font is this site using. So I have this extension which is called What Font. Click on it, click on the text you're interested in, and this will show you the font family, the weight, the size, the line height, the color. So in this case the website is using Lato, probably is the only font this website is using, so I'm gonna set it as the font for the entire website. So to do that, I will go back to our site. Well, first thing I need to do is to save this. So I click on Publish, and now I'm going to exit the Visual Builder, and I need to go to Theme Customizer. Here you will find different options. Here in General Settings, click on Typography, and here we can set Lato as the default font for the whole theme, which this have a search bar, Lato, and same for the body font. So once we're done, click on Publish and exit. And now we're back again, and we can enable the Visual Builder. I don't know why it's asking me about this. Sometimes it has these glitches. What I'll do is I'm going to reload it, and I'm going to just do it again. So let's click there, go to Settings, come on. So add background image, load image, it's okay. Let's copy the text. So we have this title. So I think it's a row like this one with these two type of columns. I'm gonna add a text module, so just search for text. It's an H1, a heading 1. So here, every module has these 3 tabs: Content, Design, and Advanced. If you click on Design, you will find different design options depending on the module's URL settings. So let's click on Heading Text, H1. Here you can set the style for your different headings. In this case, we have a heavy bold, probably. It's 80 pixels and 96 pixels line height. let's go back to the site. I'm going to choose ultra bold, white is 80, here is 86 pixels. So there you go. Now the same with this text. So we have 20, 36, and let's copy this lorem ipsum. So add another text module. I just paste it there. Go to design. In this case, choose text. Let's choose white. This was 20, I think. Yes, 20 and 36 line height. So 20 and 36 pixels. There you go. And below that, we have this button. Okay, so let me add. You can choose, well, it's here, button. It says browse listings. And what I'm going to do is to use this Chrome extension, Colorzilla, to get the color of this button. Click on it and it will copy the hex code. So let's go back to the design button. Let's use custom styles. And what I'm going to do is add this color here. Okay. Well, no, it's a background color. So here in bottom background, let's add a color. Let's paste the hex code. Same with the border color. Here you can click on recent and it will show you the last colors you have used. I think the font weight is bold and it's in all caps. It's pretty similar, maybe ultra bold, yes. And it's a smaller the font size. 16. I think this is 20 by default. Yes, so 16. I think it's not ultra bold, it's bold. Or no, I'm not sure. But it looks pretty much the same. And I think there's a bit of a space between each letter, which I can adjust here. That's pretty much very similar. And for what I can see, this button has a border radius, and I think it has some padding. That's why it looks a little bigger than this one. So if you keep scrolling here, you will see here, sorry, button border width and border radius here. So let's leave it on 5 pixels. And if we go to spacing, we can adjust margins and padding. So I'm just going to add some padding. Well, it looks kind of similar. I still think this looks a bit bigger, but I will adjust it later. Okay, so well, if we see our website, this has a gradient over the image. So what I'm going to do is go to the inspector, and I want to get the code colors for this gradient. So I'm gonna select this section, and here I can get it. So if I click in this color, let's get the hex. I think are these 6 digits, I think. So let's go again to the section settings, background, and we're going to create a gradient background. So by default it gives you these 2 colors, and as you can see, it places the background under the image. So what you need to do is scroll down until you see this and turn it on. This will place it immediately above the image. But of course these are solid colors, so we need to change that. So what I'm going to do is to select this color and replace it for the hex color I just copied. I need to add a bit of opacity. That's okay. And we need the second color. I think that's it. So click on the second color, and there you go. And now add again some opacity. I think this, I need to decrease this. So that's pretty similar to what I'm seeing here. Next thing, probably the section has a big padding at the top and at the bottom, so let's do that. Let's go again to the section settings, design. Let's go to spacing. Here we can add whatever we want, like, I don't know, 300 pixels. You can add a percentage, for example. And that looks quite similar. I usually like to use pixels, for example. Maybe 250, but that will depend on the project you're building, so choose whatever you like. Okay, what's next? I'm gonna keep the same in the bottom. I think in the original site is not that big. Maybe we can decrease this a little bit. This is still too big, but maybe there. Oh, it looks pretty good. Okay, let's keep it there. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is this module that I'm pretty sure it's a text module and a button. So what I'm going to do is copy this content, and I'm going to add a text module, copy there, the text and the heading are both, I think it's an H3. If I put the mouse over the H3, I think it shows you that blue border around the module. There. Let's use again what font to see what type of font is this. So it's the same family. This is weight 70 and 23 size, 35 line pixels, so line height, sorry. So let's set it to, I think, bold. 23. And the text, it has a bit of opacity, and it's 15. So text is 15, but with some opacity, I think 0.7. Okay, let's close this. As you can see, there's a link. This text is linked to the, so when you click on it, it will open up an email client with sending an email to this address. So if I don't want this to be in this blue color, I can go to text, and here you will find the hyperlink colors and settings. So I'm gonna choose white, and that's it, and click on OK. Of course, it's not very similar yet. So what I'm seeing here is this text module has a background with opacity. So I want to get that color. I'm going to open the inspector, and let's see. It has some paddings as well, and this orange top border. What I want now is the color of this. So here I have it, background color. Let's get the heads code. I'm going to go to the module in this case, then go to the background and add it. And now I need to give it some opacity. Let's say 7.7. Okay, so it looks nothing like the original design. So what I need to do next is add some paddings, maybe something like that. This probably 20. Okay, add some orange and give some border radius. Okay, let's set it in 5. And now we only want the top to have a border, probably 10. Let's use, yes, I have this orange color saved as a global color, which means you will always be able to access your color palette in this global option. So let's set that to OK. Okay, so I think what we need to do is to change the rows, because as you can see here, this column is way too big, and this is narrower. So I'm going to click here in this icon, or I can change the column structure to this one. And now it looks much more like it. So next thing is to add this button. I'm going to copy the text, add a button here. Let's go to design, let's go to button and use custom styles. I think the background color is white. Let's go again to what font. Let me close the inspector. I can copy the color code. So it's 12 pixels. here. Let's copy that. This was set to 12. Then I think the border is white as well. It's a bold weight. Let's give it some space between the letters, maybe just 1 pixel. And as you can see, the bottom has a margin set to minus something. So first, what I'm going to do is go back to the text module, go to design, spacing, and set the bottom margin to 0. And now I'm going back to the bottom. Let's go to design, spacing, and we can set the margin to minus 16 pixels, which seems right, and it has a left margin as well. I think that's good. Okay, so I think this still can have some more padding, top padding. Probably, yes. Also, something I'm seeing it's different is the line height of this text, which is set to 30. So let's go to design, text, and set it to 30 pixels. Okay, it's looking much better. So now what we need to do is align this to the bottom. So, well, as always, there are many ways to do this. One thing you could do is to give this text module some margin, top margin, and that works very well, but you will need to adjust the style, that margin, for the mobile version, because maybe it will look weird on mobile. So we can make sure of that, clicking on these 3 dots, and here in the left corner we have these 3 different views for tablet or for mobile. So you can see, let's see how it is in the original website. Let's go to the inspector, and it has it's not that big, the margin, as you can see, but okay, we can adjust that by doing this. When you are on the mobile view, you can go to the element you want to adjust. In this case, this text module. Let's go to design. We want to decrease this margin top, so let's go to spacing, and all these specs have these icons. Here, when you click here, it will open up these tabs, so you can specify padding or margin or whatever you are trying to do here, just for mobile, for tablet, or for desktop. In this case, we want to set the margin for mobile, maybe to 70 pixels, something like that, maybe 60. I think that's good. But if I click on the desktop view, sorry, this is still in the same position we placed it before. So now we have our first section, I think, done, and Okay, what's next? So next thing will be to make this. So we need to go to our site. We're going to add, well, we can add a new section. This will be a row with 3 columns. And then we have another row. And okay, let's do this one. So let's go to the website. Let's add a regular section. This is a 3 columns section. It has a white background. It has a box shadow for what I can see. And here probably we have an image or a blur, I think it's called. So let's set that. So, well, welcome to the live stream, guys. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I'll try to answer them. I hope you find this useful. So let's set the background as white. We can add this border. So there, I got the color for the border. So I'm going to design border. I just want the top border. Set the color and probably something like 10 or 20, maybe 20 is too much. Oh, I think, okay, let's keep it on 18. Then I need to add some border radius. I'm gonna set it to 10. If you want to be more precise, you can go to the inspector and find the element. For example, I can see it has a padding of 60. It has a margin top of minus 10%. And here I have the border radius is set to 15. It was bigger than I set it, I think. Yes. And the border top width is 18 pixels, which is, I think, exactly. Here, 18 pixels, the same. And the margin was set to minus 10%. Look at that. So that place it in the same position we are seeing. Probably this has a margin button or padding that is pushing this row below, but we can adjust that later. So next thing I'm going to do is to see if this is, how is this made? So as you can see, this is like one item. It's not an image and a text and a button. This is a blurb, which allows you to add an image, an icon, or an icon, a title, a text, and then this is probably a button separated. So let's do that. Let's add. I'm going to remove this margin and set it later. So I'm going to add a blurb. As you can see, by default gives you this title, this text, and this image. But in this case, probably they are using icons. And if you click on use icon, it will open up this library. So I think It's this one. Yes. So I need the color of the background of the icon. Just gonna copy it. I'm going to design, and here I can set the background color. The icon is white, but I don't think it's the same icon. Let's see if we can find it, or maybe it's an image. Not sure. It's this one. Okay, so let's go back to design. We want this made as a circle, so 50 will do it. And we want to, well, in this case, if you use a tool, an extension like What Font, it will give you the size and the specs of the size of the font they are using here. So in this case it's 40 pixels, so I can go and set it like that, 40 pixels. Next, we need to add some padding. We need the padding to be the same for top, bottom, left, and right. In this case, I think probably is like 30. Yes, looks pretty good. Okay, next thing, I want to see what type of font is this. Lato 15. I'm going to copy the color code. Going back to my site. Let's go to design, text. I'm going to set it to center. Yes, that's right. And okay, here we need to set this to 15. Here and here. And this body text is 16, has a different color. Let's go to body text. Let's set it in 16 and let's change its color. There you go. So it looks pretty similar. Of course, we have a different text because I haven't changed that, and these are the default text. I'm just gonna keep it that way. So next thing is I'll add this button. So let's add a new module, button, listings. Let's go back to the original site and let's get the color code. The font size is set to 13, border radius to 6, letter spacing to 1. Of course, the alignment is centered. I'm going to bottom, just custom styles. Same thing we have done before. I think this was 13. And I have the color, the text color. It's this. Okay. And the background. So let's add it here. And I think it has a 0.3 opacity or not sure about that, so let me check it again. Okay, yes, 0.03. I can go there and set it like that. And now I think we need to get rid of the border. And we need to add some padding. So, well, another thing we need to do is to set it to uppercase, probably bold. It had 1 pixel of letter spacing. Border radius was, I think, 6. Sorry about that. Border radius, where are you? Here. 6. I gave it way too much padding. So there you go. Looks pretty similar. And if you want to customize the hover of the button, you can go to the custom styles, go to background, and when you place the mouse over this, it will pop these icons. Same thing with the mobile styles, but here you will find this pointer icon. Click on it and it will give you the option to set a hover color. For example, I'm going to decrease the opacity. Maybe that's too much. Like there. Okay. So next thing I will do is to save, so we don't lose everything we have done. Okay, next thing, this looks much bigger than my site, so I think this is wider than mine. Absolutely. So what I'm going to do is go to my row settings. Let's go to design, and in sizing you will find this first, that the width is set to 80% of a maximum width of 1080 pixels. So what I can do is, for example, to set this to the 80% of the width of the website. And that looks maybe 70. That looks pretty good to me. Yes, 75 sounds right. Looks right. Then what I'm going to do is to add, I don't know if you can tell, but it has a very soft box shadow applied to the row. So I'll go to the row settings, go to design. Here you will find the box shadow tab, and something like that, but I think it's softer. So place the vertical position to 0. I will set this to, I don't know, 0.1, something like that. And now I'm going to place it, giving minus 10% margin top. Okay, still doesn't look quite similar. So first we need to create some space between these two rows, and to do that, what I'll do is to give this, well, I can do this from this row, creating some margin bottom, for example, something like that, which looks pretty good. Of course, it's not perfect, but it's pretty similar. Then these modules clearly have some left and right padding. So what I can do is to maybe add it to the row. Let's see if that works. Okay. Something like that, maybe 50. Looks pretty good to me. And now I need to do these other two blurbs. But what I'm going to do is go to the row settings. I'm going to remove these two, and I'm going to duplicate this column. So now we have our second section pretty much done. I think the box shadow needs some adjustments. So let's go to the box shadow settings. And it's something like that, maybe 60. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. Let's save. So guys, if you have any questions, please leave them in the chat, in the comment section, and I will try to answer them all. Okay, what's next? So now we have this image. I think it's a row with two columns, a text, probably a title, another text module, and a button, and then this image. This is pretty easy. And we have, of course, a distance between these two rows that we can create with margin. And what I could do is to create a new section, or I can create a new row and give it some margin. I'm going to create another section, but I think it's pretty much a personal option. Both ways could give you the same result. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. Well, we need to create the row, and I think it's something like this one. Maybe let's start with one with equal columns. Sure, we can change it. This one, let's add a text module. Okay, so let's get the specs of the font is set to 36 and line height of 54. So let's go to heading. It was an H3 and I forgot it's 36. Probably bold. Yes. 54 as line height and pixels, and we need to add the color code here. And yeah, maybe you ask why it looks wider here, because probably the row structure is different. So let's try with this. Yeah, I think that is. Then I'm going to add this text. What I could do is to add it as part of this same text module, but I'd rather do it as a different one. But you could do it in the same module. So I add it there. So let's get the color code. This is set to 18 and 36 line height. So let's go to design, 18, 36, and let's change again pixels. Let's change the color. And probably the margin both of this module is not that big, so I'm going to go to spacing and set it to 10 maybe it's 5. Yeah, I think so. Then I need to create this button. What I can do is copy. It's pretty similar to this one. Of course, it's black. But what I can do is go to this module, right click on it, and click on copy module. So I go back, and here I right click and click on paste module. Now I can go to settings, design, content. No, I'm sorry, button, design, button, custom styles, and let's set the background to black as well as the border color. So that's pretty easy, and once you have some elements of your websites already built, you can use them, because probably you will have many similar buttons that can have like different colors, background colors, or things like that. Maybe you have one aligned to the left, another one to the right, but the style is pretty much the same. So you can copy and paste them, and then you can make those small adjustments. Okay, so next thing, I'm gonna get this image with image downloader. Okay, I need to add it here, so let's add new module, in this case an image module. Click on this and just drop it there. Now we have this image. I think this has some margin top, so what I could do is to go to the text module, go to design, spacing, and add some margin top. For example, something like this. I think it's maybe 40. Yeah. And I'm not sure if this is still the right structure. Maybe it's this one. Yes, I think that's it. Looks pretty similar. Okay, let's save. And this is the third section. I think we need to increase the space between these two sections. So what I can do is to increase the padding, the top padding of this section. So I'm going to the section settings, spacing. By default, I think these are set to 30 or maybe 15. So I'm going to set it to 60. Yeah, I think it's pretty much that. Okay, let's save again. As you can see, I don't need to click on save every time. I can just press Command and S or Control S and it will save it. Okay, what's next? Okay guys, so again, if you have any questions, any comments, please leave them in the chat, in the comment sections. And I appreciate if you like the video and of course subscribe to the channel. So next thing, I will add another row with this content. What I am going to do is to download this image, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but I think there's a gradient here as a background that goes from white to this light blue, light purple color. So what that does mean is that all these items are in the same section. And so this is one row, this is another row, all three in the same section. So what I'm going to do is to get this color and I'm gonna set it as a gradient background here. So we know the first color should be white and the second is the one I just copied. No, it's not that. Okay, let me do it again. Yeah, I think now we got it. Okay, yeah, perfect. And if you see these other two modules has like a very similar structure, so what I'm going to do is to duplicate this row. This is something you can do with section, rows, and every module. And it's super handy when you're creating a website and you have like similar items, similar sections. So just click on this icon and it will duplicate it. And next thing you can do in this case, you can change the columns order. And now I'm going to replace this image for the one I just downloaded. So it's very similar, but what we need to change is the column structure. So in this case, we need to use, I think it's this one, or not. Let me see. Let's try with other structure, maybe this. No, this is, the image gets too small. Definitely it's not that one. Yeah, I think that is. No, no, quite happy yet. But in this case, the text. Let's see, yeah, I think that is. Maybe this is two columns of the same size. Let's see what happens if we set it to two columns of the, no, definitely not. Well, what you can do in this case, when you have made something that you don't like, is press Command C, and it will reverse it. Okay. Next thing is, the third row. So let's duplicate this. Can go to settings, change column order. I need to download this image. Okay. I'm not gonna bother changing the text content. Okay, I think that's too small, so probably it's more maybe like that. No. Maybe something like that. Of course, it looks different because I haven't changed this text, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just gonna leave it like that. But yeah, that's it. This image looks the same size. Another thing I think we need to adjust is the space between these rows. So let's do that. So we can go to each row, spacing. What I could do is to adjust the spacing in this row in the middle, because if I add more padding top and bottom, it will create the space between this one and this one. So, as always, there are many different ways to do things. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yes, let's leave it there. Okay, let's save. What's next? Then we have this listings section. So let me copy this. I'm going to create a new section, a regular one, just one column, text. So I'll paste here what I just copied. Let's get, what type of font is this? Size 42 for H2 42. Okay. So what I'll do is, remember to leave me your questions in the chat. This is 18, text set to 18. This is the color code. Okay, I think everything is aligned to the center. Yes, but if you can see here, this text doesn't go from here to here. So probably that means that the sizing, the width of this, we need to set it to maybe, okay, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's it, 40. That's fine. Probably this text has a higher line height. Let's check that. Okay, so it's set to 36. Okay, then we have this search module, which you think it will do as, for example, if I write single family, it will change these results, but it doesn't do that. I will create another video to teach you how to have an Ajax search that allows you to search in the same page. So you don't need to go to a new page to see the search results. Anyway, let's add a search module. So probably this is smaller. set it to 50%. There, align it in the center. I want this color code. Let's go to design. And I think these are all settings for the input field. So I'm just going to leave it in regular. Button, here we go. So the color of the button, I already had it. It's okay. The text color is white. This is bold. Maybe ultra bold. Set to uppercase. Then I think it has 1 pixel of letter spacing. Then we need to set it to this background color. The field, yes, here. Yes, that's it. I think this has a border. Okay, here. And here, so if I click on reason, I should have the same color, yes. Then, well, I think this has more padding. So I'm gonna increase the padding a little bit. Sorry. Okay, let's keep it there. Let's add some corners. Okay, what else? What we are missing? Looks pretty good to me. I think, I'm not sure if, yeah, I'm thinking this section has the same gradient background as this other one. So what I'm going to do is go to this section, right click on it, and I'm going to copy section styles, go to the new section I'm just creating, and paste these styles. And as you can see, we have the gradient copy. What I need to do is to remove the margin top and bottom. Okay, now we need to add this. I think these are 2 rows with 3 columns each. So let's do that. 3 rows. And here we have an image module, a button, text, another text, another text, another text. And each column has a white background. So let me download these images. Okay, I'm going to add a white background to the column. Remember, do it to the column, not to the row, because we want this space between between each column. Of course, I don't see anything because what my column contains at this moment is just this image. But if I add a text module, we can see the white background. So we have button and a lot of text. Okay, that's it. I think we made a similar button where I could copy this module again and just paste it here and then adjust it. Definitely this is smaller. Let's see, it's a 12 size pixel. So let's go to button, custom sizes, custom styles. To align it to the center. And we can make it smaller by decreasing the padding. Look at that. Build these things. It's pretty similar. Let's go to design. I think we need to decrease this more. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I think that's fine. Next thing, we will remove the margin bottom of the image. Pretty much like what we did at the beginning with this second section, I think it was. So here in spacing, I can do it like this. Okay, and I can see that it has a box shadow, definitely softer. So something like that. Looks good. Yeah, I like it. Okay, next I'm going to go to the column, go to design and spacing. No, sorry. So I already added the text module we need, and it's here where I'm going to add some padding. So something like this. Okay, we can adjust that later. So what else? Okay, let's copy this text. Okay, I'm going to create one text module for each. Or what I can do is to add everything in the same module. So then I just need to make adjustments to one module. Let me see it. We have paragraph and H4, another paragraph, and this is a paragraph with and a hyperlink. So probably that's the way this is done, because I'm pretty sure this text and this text have the same characteristics. And yes, so 15 pixels size. Okay, text. Let's copy and paste the color. Let's set this to 15. Then the pricing is set to 32. it was an H4, yes, 32, yes, this is the color code, and line height is 32 pixels. It's okay. And here we have a text hyperlink with this color. And everything is aligned to the center. So let's go to text and center. Looks pretty good to me. Definitely this button is a bit different. Yeah, it's not ultra bold, it's just bold. And yeah, doesn't look like it. Oh, I gave it 2. Yeah, now it's looking much more like it. So then I think I need to increase the height of this white space. And to do that, I'm going to the text module to add more padding. And that's it. I think it looks very good. So, what do you think, guys? Any questions, any comments? Leave them in the comment section. And if you like this content, please subscribe to the channel. But thank you for watching. So what I'm going to do now is the same thing I did before, that is to copy these columns. So I'm going to duplicate this one, and there you go, you have the 3 items. And now I'm going to duplicate this, and there we go. I could change, of course, all these images and content, but I don't think it's necessary. Okay, so I need to save. Always super important to save. So we still have 2 more sections, 2 more sections to go. Okay, so what we have here is, this is very similar to what we did at the beginning. So what I could do is copy this row. I'm going to create a new section, a regular one. I'm not going to add a row, but I'm going to right click here and paste my row. Of course, this is a 2-column row with this orange color, so let's change that. So let's go to the structure and change it for a 2-column row. What we can do now is go to the row settings. It's okay. No, I'm sorry. We can go here and delete these modules. Next thing. Oh, I forgot this button. Completely missed it. But I'm gonna add it, and I will add more space between these 2 objects. So I'm going to remove the margin top that this has, so it doesn't bother me while I'm doing this. And what I want to do is this view all listings button be under these 3 modules, these 3 cards. So to do that, I'm going to add a 1-column row. I'm going here, I'm going to copy this module and just paste it here. And of course, I'm going to change the color the background color. And center it. So let's align to the center. And the background color is this. Same with the border color. Now I can change the text for the old listings. That's okay. And I'm going to add a big margin top, which I could do from here, or I could go to the section, design, and add some big padding bottom. I think it's bigger, it's like something like that. Probably set to a percentage, but I think that will be fine. So now we can go back to this row we were building and set the margin top to minus 10%, for example. And that's much more similar. Yes, looks good. So I want to change this top border. So we have the orange color here. Now, what I'm doing. Yeah. Oh, here. It's just the top border. Check on global. So one thing I haven't done really is that you can add the most common colors of your website to this global menu. So you can use them in every module you want, and you don't have to search for the color code each time. Okay, so as you can see, we have an image aligned to the left. We have this text. So we can go to the inspect, and this allows us to see what kind of module is this. In this case, I can see this is a testimonial column. So let's change it. We can remove these buttons because there's no button here. I'm going to remove this one and add a new testimonial. And that's a very similar structure of what we are trying to achieve. So let's copy this. Of course, this goes here. Let me copy this. Okay. Let's see what type of font this is. Italic, size 20 pixels. So let's go to design, body text, set to here, italic, 20 pixels. Line height set to 40 pixels. Color code. And I think we should remove the background. By default, these modules comes with that background. Yeah, we don't need that's okay. And I'm going to, here in the elements, I'm going to hide the quote icon. So as you can see, each module has different alternatives here, depending on what the module does. I'm not going to, well, let's do it. Let's download these profile images. So let's change that image. That's it. I think the image has a small box shadow. So let's set that. Something like that, yes. Probably with a higher blur strength and more. I think it's pretty good. Maybe more opacity, which I think we can set here. Yeah. Let's leave it in 0.2. So that's it. And again, what I'm going to do is to remove this column and duplicate this one. And it looks very similar. I like it. Okay guys, last two sections. This is an easy one, I think. Very similar to what we did here. Well, it's not that similar. But anyways, so what we can do is to add a new section. Click on regular. First, this starts with a one column row. Just gonna copy and paste this into a text module. Paste it there. Let's copy the font styles. Set to size 42, line height 63. So this is an H2, 42, I think. Yeah, 42. And line height was 63. Definitely pixels. I don't know what that happens every time I do it. Anyways, let's keep going. Remember, if you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. And if you like this content, please subscribe to the channel. Then this text, which is 18. Text is set to 18 and everything is centered. I love this this Chrome extension. So good, so helpful. Which Chrome extensions do you recommend, guys? Write them down in the chat. Okay, and definitely this row is smaller, maybe 50%. Let's keep it aligned at the center. Okay, we need to increase the line height of the text. .36, something like that. Yes, looks good. Like it. What else? Now we have a 3-column row. So this is again the same type of module we used here, which is called blur. This one here. Maybe what I can do is this. So since we already made some very similar modules, I can go here and click on copy module and paste it here. Yes. Again, this is a bigger row, so I'm going to do the same. Well, I don't want to do the same because what that will do is to copy the entire style of the row. We don't want this border color, this box shadow, so I'm just gonna go to the settings and see what's the sizing set to. Max width 75%. Okay, so let's go to the row settings, spacing, no, sizing, yes, sizing, and let's set the max width to 75%. Much better. Now I'm going to get this color and change it here. It's okay. And now I just need to remove these two columns and duplicate this one. And that's it. And of course, as you can see, the middle one has a box shadow. So I need to go to my row settings. Let's go to the column settings, the middle one. And here on design, we need to add a box shadow. Okay, so looks horrible, but we're going to fix it. So first we need to add, let's soften this box shadow. 0.2. Maybe something like 60. Now I'm going to round these corners. Let's set it to 15. And now we need to add some spacing, some padding at the top, bottom, left and right side. Maybe 30 will do it. That definitely is higher. Maybe 35. Still not quite happy with the result. I think this, maybe this 0.1. Yeah, that looks much better. But the three modules are not aligned. So what I should do is to repeat the padding set in this column. Yeah, I was in the blurb, but we need to copy this padding. So it's 50 and 35. So let's go back to the first column, and we set 50 and 35, and do the same with the third column. So let's set it to 50 and 35. Looking good? Yes, I like it. Looks pretty much the same. And last section, guys. Okay, so what we have here is very similar to the header. Probably has the same gradient. So what I'm going to do is to copy this section and paste it here. I'm going to remove this row. Let's download the background image. This one. Let's change that image here. It's okay. And let's copy this text. So let's add one column row text. I'm going to just paste that there. We are going to set everything to align in the center. And let's see what type of font this is. So it's size 48 pixels, line height 55, white, how much was it? 48. And this 56 pixels. What I'm doing wrong, I'm setting for an H1, but this is an H2. Yes. So it's ultra bold. This should be 48, 56 pixels. Yeah, that's it. And probably one letter spacing. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, looks good. One, maybe two. Yeah, that's look so similar. Okay, then we have this text set to 20 pixels. Oh, I don't know what I did, but let's go back. Let's save in case of anything happens. So let's go back to the module settings, design, text. Let's set it to white. And this is a 20 pixels size, font size. 36 pixels for line height. And that's okay. Definitely we need to make this smaller, so 50, yes. And there's this button, which we already have a similar one, so let's copy this, copy module, and paste it here. Let's set it to align in the center. And there you go. I think well, if you want to increase or adjust the padding of the section, or, well, this works for every row and every module. You can adjust it from here. So, something like that. Yes. Yeah, it looks good. Looks super similar. Of course, it's not like pixel perfect. Yes, I'm quite happy with the results. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to exit the Visual Builder so we can see how this is. What do you think, guys? Looks super similar. I know there are many details to make it like exactly the same, but that was not the purpose of this tutorial. It was mainly to show you how easy it is to build with the Divi Builder, how easy it is to clone, copy a site. So if you're interested in this theme, or you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments, in the chat. And I'll be uploading more videos and doing more live streams about Divi Builder. I'm leaving an affiliate link to the theme if you're interested in buying a subscription. I definitely recommend it. I bought the lifetime subscription, sorry, and I think it's like $250, something like that, which is pretty cheap for a lifetime subscription. I have already used it in so many sites. So yeah, it's a great price. And that's it. In the next video, I'll show you how to make mobile adjustments and create another website. And that's it. Thanks for watching. So if you like this content, please let me know. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and as I already said, please leave me your comments and questions in the chat or in the comment section down below the video. I appreciate you watching this, and thank you very much. See you next time.